Today's video is brought to you by Underdog, the ultimate pick'em, higher or lower fantasy football with all your favorite players, guys. And because you're a part of the J All Day community, they're running a great promo, $5 to play, get $100 in free bonus entries for all new customers. Thank you to Underdog for sponsoring today's video. If you want to check out that promo, I'll leave a link in the description down below. We're on to week 14. Week 13 was just as crazy as the rest of the season has been. We started off terribly. I picked 4 favorites over Thanksgiving. All 4 favorites lost. It was crazy, but we went on quite the run in the afternoon games, guys. Woo, baby, 7-3 to catch fire, to break even at 7-7 so far in this week. After starting out 0-4, not too shabby. And one of those losses is the freaking Rams losing to the Panthers. What the F is going on, guys? Because my bets were crushing it. We had such a great week for our members only bets. I put out 4 anytime touchdowns. They all cashed, man. It was crazy. If it wasn't for the Rams losing to the Panthers, my bets, we would have tripled our bankroll this week. So if you want to check out the sports betting, check out my memberships down below. We're on to week 14. We crossed 120 wins on the season. Let's clap it up, guys. It's been a long season for sure. But let's get things kicked off with Thursday night football. Dallas Cowboys taking on the Detroit Lions in Detroit. Yo, the Cowboys have back-to-back wins over the Super Bowl teams, the Eagles and the Chiefs, and the games really weren't super close, man. This Cowboys team is playing really, really well, playing with their hats on fire, and the Lions look pretty mediocre to me, man. Amon-Ra St. Brown got hurt early in that game in the first quarter versus the Packers. That was a huge bummer, and one of the main reasons why I think they lost that game was ultimately 31-24. The Lions really couldn't get anything going offensively there in the second half. So the Lions defense giving up so many points, man. It's crazy. Their defense does not look good. And I expect Dak Prescott and the Cowboys to put up a lot of points. That's why I'm rolling with the Cowboys here, right? So no Sam Laporta, possibly without Amon-Ra St. Brown on his short week. He's definitely not going to be 100%. He got pulled in the first quarter. So no Amon-Ra St. Brown, no Sam Laporta, and a defense that's Swiss cheese. Give me the Cowgirls to get it done, even though Jahmyr Gibbs is a freaking monster, man. The dude is an absolute freaking savage. Monster. And Williams had a really good game versus the Packers, over 144 yards in that spot. But give me the Cowgirls there on the road. And if the Eagles don't get their shit together, the Cowboys might come back and win this division. Mark my words, guys. Next up, we got the Seahawks on the road taking on the Falcons. Yo, the Falcons suck so bad. How does Raheem Morris still have a job? I'll never know. The dude is trash. Kirk Cousins this past weekend, 21-33, 234 in lieu of Michael Penix Jr. We had a Bijan Robinson anytime touchdown, Jaylen Warren anytime touchdown, and Kyren Williams and Devontae Adams. They all cashed this weekend. We're killing it, guys, with the bets. Killing it! But, yo, it's the Seahawks all day. All day! Because this Atlanta Falcons team can't beat the freaking Jets. They blow. They're so bad. I don't understand how Raheem Morris hasn't been fired yet, because the team does have some talent. No Drake London again this past weekend versus the Jets, but I don't care if they got 10 Drake Londons. They're still not beating the Seahawks here in week number 14. That is for sure. So I'm going to roll with the Seahawks on the road. They got a win this past week over a terrible Vikings team, 26-0 against a rookie undrafted free agent. They forced 4 interceptions, had 4 sacks, and a fumble. It's going to be a long day for Kirk Cousins, who at this point is like the Statue of Liberty back there. He can't move around at all because of that blown Achilles a couple years back. The Falcons just aren't very good at all. Penny Lane's shaking it off in the living room right now. I forgot to take her little harness off. But yeah, give me the Seahawks. No doubt about it here in week number 14. This is a really interesting game coming up. The Bengals and the Buffalo Bills. Kind of a must-win game. If the Bengals want to keep their season alive, I think they're pretty much kaput. But they put it on the freaking Ravens last week. They forced 5 turnovers against the Ravens. Very impressive. Joe Burrow was pretty good. Buffalo Bills really struggling early on in that game versus the Steelers. They were losing going into halftime. And then Aaron Rodgers imploded, as did the rest of the Steelers, right? What a shit show the Steelers are. Mike Tomlin just looks lost. It looks like the game has like passed him by a little bit, in my opinion. But Bengals at the Bills. It's on the road. It's going to be a tough spot. I don't want to get like glossy eyes and think that the Bengals can all of a sudden go to Buffalo and light up the Bills. The Bills defense, rush defense, stood up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pretty good performance by them. The Bengals will have a great running game led by Chase Brown. But man, James Cook just continues week in and week out to deliver. He's already over 1,000 yards this season. The Bills are 5-1 at home. The Bengals only have 2 wins on the road. And if the Bills want to keep lock instead with the New England Patriots, right, they got to win this game, especially home games down the stretch. I think it's going to be a little bit closer than people think, but give me the Buffalo Bills at home. Faux show. Next up, Titans. The 1-win Titans against the Cleveland Browns. The Browns lost to the 49ers. I took the 49ers in my survivor pool. I'm in 2 survivor pools left. In 1, the Jay All-Day sponsor one, there's only 2 people left, me and some other guy. He took the Chargers. He won. I took the 49ers. I move on. The winner of that gets $1,000. And then I'm in another tournament from Splash Sports. 12,000 people started. We're down to 450 people. Winner gets 50 G's. Damn. I could go for those 50 G's. All right, the Browns are going to win this game. The Titans don't really have much to offer offensively. The defense actually did a really good job stopping the run this past week. But the Titans are the Titans, guys. I just don't think they're going to do enough offensively against a really good Browns defense. I just don't foresee that happening right now. You know, the Browns last week, it was really windy, it was cold, it was damp. Against a really good defensive coordinator, it was a tough spot. But for me, the Jaguars dominated the Titans, but they had a trouble running the ball for a Jaguars team that usually runs the ball pretty good. So the Titans could bottle up Judkins maybe a little bit for Shadour's hand in this game, but I don't foresee that happening. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. The over-under is probably like 35 at the most. So the Browns not bad at home, 2-4. I think Shadour gets it done here against a very beatable Titans defense. Give me the Browns. Next up, we got the Commanders and the Vikings. The Vikings are reeling right now, 1-4 at home. Oh boy, did they really, really struggle this past week. I mean, they don't have a quarterback. Will J.J. McCarthy be out of the protocol in time to play in this game? I don't think it really matters, guys. I just don't think it matters. Max Brosmer is not an NFL quarterback. 4 interceptions. Aaron Jones added a fumble this past week. And I hope to see Jaden Daniels back. But actually, Marcus Mariota, when he's playing, has actually played pretty well. Not great, but not bad either. He's a serviceable backup in the NFL, in my opinion. So I don't care what the spread is. It's probably going to be like 4-ish, 3.5-ish for the Commanders if I would have to predict. But I like the Commanders to win this game. And I'm thinking Jaden Daniels could get in line to play in this spot. They got a tough game tonight playing the Denver Broncos. That's going to be not an easy game at all whatsoever. Pat Surtain is coming back, but they did get Terry McLaurin back, which is nice. So we'll see what Marcus Mariota has to offer, but I don't think it's going to be much versus that Denver Broncos defense, guys. So give me the Commanders on the road versus the Vikings. I don't care if it's Brosmer or J.J. McCarthy. These guys just aren't good. They're just not accurate enough to be starting quarterbacks in the NFL long term, in my opinion. Next up, we got an AFC East division showdown. The Miami Dolphins go on the road to take on the Jets. The Miami Dolphins have won 3 straight. And the Jets have actually been playing a little bit better now that Justin Fields is on the bench. But man, Achane has been unstoppable this year. He added another 134 yards on the ground and a touchdown this past week in that win over the Saints. 21-17. But it really wasn't that close. I think it was like 16-0 at halftime. They were just dominating, kind of took their foot off the gas a little bit, allowed Tyler Shough to get back in that game. Darren Waller also returned to action. That could be really big for this offense moving forward. 3 straight wins. Pretty good. Minkah Fitzpatrick had a fumble recovery and an interception. So he had a big game there for Miami. And Tua did just enough to get that victory there for the Miami Dolphins. So, where do we go with this next game on the slate? We're going to go to Tampa Bay, where the Saints travel to Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers just got past the Cardinals. I sent out a post and a pinned comment on the video because most reports were saying that Baker Mayfield wasn't going to play. So no Baker. If it was going to be Teddy Bridgewater, I was going to go with Arizona. But once Baker and Bucky Irving were in, I flipped over to the Buccaneers. They did just enough to win. It was a close-ish game on the scoreboard, but man, the Buccaneers left a lot of points on the table in this game. One, Baker Mayfield zooms this perfect pass to Chris Godwin right in between the numbers, man. It just dots him right in the pads and just falls to the ground incomplete. Ugh. They won 20-17, but I think Chris Godwin, as he starts to play a little bit more, the same thing with Bucky Irving, we're going to see more and more success. I think the Buccaneers ball out. And if they want to make the playoffs, it's a must-win game. If they lose this game and go to 7-6, their season's pretty much over for Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers, right? So they got to take care of business against a division team there in New Orleans. With New Orleans, it's actually in Tampa Bay. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Listen, the Buccaneers, once they're healthy, they're going to be a tough team to deal with. If I'm the Philadelphia Eagles, the last team I want to see in the first round of the playoffs, if I don't get a bye, is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. That's for damn sure, right? So give me the Buccaneers for sure. Only 3-2 this year at home. Not very good, but the Saints only have one road win all season long. I like the Buccaneers in this spot for sure. And then also, guys, we got 4 teams on the bye. We got the Patriots, the Giants, the 49ers, and the Carolina Panthers. Next up on this slate, we have a really, really exciting game with huge playoff implications. We got the Colts and the Jaguars in Jacksonville. Both of these teams are 8-4. Whoever wins this game will take the lead in the AFC South. This game's going to be a lot of fun. The Jags have won 3 straight. Walker Little, the left tackle, missed the second half after he was evaluated for a concussion, so he's going to be questionable. The Colts lost Sauce Gardner earlier in that game, really early left calf injury. I don't know how serious that is. It didn't look great, guys, so that's a huge bummer. So, who do I think ultimately wins this game? For me, the Jaguars just still make tons of little mistakes that are going to bite them in the ass when they play big football games. And I think this is going to be one of those situations where the Colts go on the road in a tough environment there in Jacksonville and win this game. I like the Colts to get Jonathan Taylor cooking, man. He's going to cook with some gas. And the Jaguars, tons of penalties, tons of missed assignments, and I just don't trust Trevor Lawrence to win a must-win game against a really, really good football team, guys. So, the Jaguars have won 3 straight. They dominated a bad Titans team 25-3, but they really struggled to run the ball. 27 carries for only 70 yards, guys. 2.6 yards per carry. If they come with that kind of running game against the Colts, it's going to be a long day, in my opinion. Give me the Colts on the road to get a W. Next up, we got a tale of 2 teams that are playing like complete and utter dog shit. Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. These teams, it's not 10 years ago, guys. These are not good football teams. Neither of these teams are good at all whatsoever. Both had embarrassing losses here in Week 13. The Steelers put Broderick Jones on IR. That's a huge bummer. And listen, Aaron Rodgers can't play football anymore. It is so hard to watch him throw 5,000 screen passes every single game. He got his ass beat in that game with Buffalo, split his bridge of his nose open. He's got a broken hand. The dude is a 41-year-old cripple at this point, man. So I love what he's done in his career, but he can't play football anymore, and Mason Rudolph sucks. And they gave up 50,000 rushing yards to the Buffalo Bills this past week. The Ravens had 5 turnovers and only scored 14 points, 1 touchdown in each half, versus the worst defense I've ever seen in my whole life in the Cincinnati Bengals without Trey Hendrickson and Shamar Stewart. How you do that, I can't fathom it. And it was at home, too. I don't want to pick either of these teams. Can I just say F you to both the Steelers and the Ravens and not pick either team? Because that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm only going to pick the Ravens because they're at home. And if James Cook can run the ball effectively against the Steelers, I think they could get the running game going with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. But both of these teams, they suck huge, gigantic, enormous dinosaur donkey balls. They're tough to watch. They're an embarrassment. This is not the AFC North that we're accustomed to seeing over the years. And I think it might be time for the Steelers to put Mike Tomlin out to pasture. That's just my opinion on that situation. I like the Ravens initially. We'll see how the injury reports shake out. And the Ravens are coming off a little bit of extra rest as well. This Steelers team, they just look so demoralized, and they got their asses kicked by the Bills. And it's crazy because they were winning the game going into halftime. And if you look at the end of the game score, you would never have thought that in a million freaking years, man. All right. Next up on the Sunday slate, we got the Broncos and the Raiders. I'm taking the Raiders. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Just kidding. We're going with the Broncos all day. I mean, this Raiders team is so unbelievably bad. Minus Brock Bowers and Max Crosby. If I'm Max Crosby, I'm calling my agent tonight and be like, yo, bro, please get me the F out of Vegas, dude. What a nightmare. They fired Chip Kelly 2 weeks ago. That didn't matter at all. Geno Smith is cooked. Put somebody else in, anybody else in. He is so bad. He takes so many sacks. He holds onto the ball too damn long. Dude, you got to understand that your offensive line is not going to allow you to hold onto the ball for 5 or 6 seconds, man. It's just not going to happen. The Broncos defense, they might pitch a shutout here. They probably will pitch a shutout. The Raiders are terrible. It's a terrible football team in every stretch of the imagination. They're going to lose. Broncos get it done. And if they win versus the Commanders tonight and win this game against the Raiders, it's a lock. And the Chargers, if they win against the Eagles on Monday night, the Chiefs can kiss the playoffs goodbye. Thank goodness for that. Broncos win. Faux show. Next up, we got the Bears and the Green Bay Packers. I'm not picking against the Bears anymore, guys. I'm not doing it. I'm taking the Bears to win. They play bully football. Ben Johnson has them playing beat up, bully, punch you in the mouth, go up on the top rope, Macho Man Randy Savage style, dropping the elbow, boom! They kicked the shit out of the Eagles from pillar to post. They made the Eagles look like a bunch of little whiny bitches. They made the Eagles their bitch, straight up. They ran the ball down their throat. They played excellent defense. The team played really good. They're playing cohesive team football. They're running the ball. I'm still on the fence about Caleb Williams, but man, they're running the ball so freaking well, man. It was unbelievable what they did to the Philadelphia Eagles. Kyle Monangai, what a pick, man. I loved him coming out of Rutgers in my college evaluations, and he's proved me right. He looks freaking incredible. And then DeAndre Swift, what a great one-two punch they got there, and they got tons of weapons on the outside everywhere. Yeah, the Bears are for real. Give me the Bears on the road to beat the Green Bay Packers. Woo! Next up, Rams, Cardinals. Rams are going to bounce back after that shit ball. Of course, I go heavy betting the Rams. And Matt Stafford has the worst game of the season, for sure. It was unbelievable how bad it was. The fumble, the 2 fucking interceptions, man. Every ball just bounced in the Panthers' way this game. There was no other way around it. He hits Derek Brown in the freaking helmet, and the guy turns around, and the ball is just in his hands in the end zone. And then, yeah, it was just, the defense really, really let me down, too. They made Bryce Young look good at football. And guess what? Bryce Young's not good at football. So the Rams bounce back. The Cardinals are fucking reeling, man. Reeling. They're just not a great team. Tough sledding. Division games are always weird, though. So if the spread's like 14 or something wonky, maybe you take the Cardinals and the points at home. They got to play better. The Rams got to bounce back. You know, that number 1 seed is so important in the NFC, especially for these indoor teams. They don't want to go play outdoors in Chicago or Philly or some shit like that, right? So the Rams got to win, so give me the Rams here. Texans, Chiefs. Oh, man, I'm in quite the quandary here. It's going to be cold as shit in Kansas City. The Texans are used to playing indoors. I don't want to do it, but I'm picking the Chiefs. The Texans, C.J. Stroud didn't play great today. The offensive line is still pretty mediocre in my opinion. the defense is hella good. Super good. And defense does travel, right? And it's going to be a really close game when you look at the Texans' defense and the way. I just don't think C.J. Stroud's going to go on the road in 20-degree weather and light it up. And they don't have the run game to take the pressure off of C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud went 22 of 35, 276, and an interception. No touchdown passes today. Nico Collins went 5 for 98. I mean, C.J. Stroud will get better in time, but he got to play in a cushy indoor environment this week. Now he's got to go in Kansas City. And the Kansas City, they lose to the Texans, their season's over. That's it. Travis Kelce retires a loser. I'm not even making the playoffs. So they got to figure some shit out. I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs to get a win here on this Sunday slate. They're going to win. They're playing at home. Season on the line, like really on the line now. Like 100% on the line. They have no other choice but to win. If they don't win this game, their season and Travis Kelce's career is over. Next up, and the final game of this slate for Week 14, early predictions, Eagles at the Chargers. I'm going with the Chargers. The Eagles look lifeless. C.J. Gardner-Johnson is right. I think this team's going to fold. Jalen Hurts just going to the bench and sulking. This is what he looks like on the bench. Not getting his teammates going. Get hyped up, dude. Why are you being such a little bitch? Let's go. He's just sulking like a little petulant child. And it's tough to watch, man. I don't think he or this offense have any faith in Kevin Patullo. And they're like a student who doesn't like their teacher. That doesn't mean they can't get good grades, but they don't want to. They just don't care. They're just like, bleh. I don't see it. This Eagles team has no fight in them. And until they show me some comeback, some tenacity, some balls, I'm picking against them each and every week until I see anything. And Kevin Patullo runs plays like it's Tecmo Bowl in 1990. He's an embarrassment. But Harbaugh came out in the press conference and said there's a broken bone in Justin Herbert's non-throwing hand. He's going to have a procedure on Monday, and they will have to determine whether or not he plays Monday night. They do have an extra day to figure shit out. But no Justin Herbert, I'll take the Eagles. But with Justin Herbert, give me the Chargers all day. Guys, thank you so much for being a part of this community. We just crossed 28,000 subscribers. You guys are the best. Check out my memberships in the description down below if you want to get my sports bets every single Friday. The Underdog promo will be down there as well. Again, thank you guys so much.